My fellow traders, hope you all having an awesome weekend. So this week we're going to start our analysis with nat gas, gold, silver, crude oil. I'm also going to go through some markets like commodities, soft commodities, the trade alerts we have, and most importantly, I'm going to show the losses I had this week. Now, this video is going to be very important if you're struggling with your losses and your trading psychology mentally. Now, every weekend I show you the trades I've taken and some good and winning trades I've taken, less losing trades. Of course, we had losing streaks as well. And that is something I'm going to show you this week, how it can affect you and how you can lose your motivation in trading if you see this type of losses. And I'm going to tell you how you can carry on with your trading even if you have your losing streaks. Now, trading is not without losing. If you have winners, you have losers as well. But most important thing is that how you cope with your emotion when you have losing streak. So I'm going to jump straight to my losing streaks, starting with GBP/JPY. Now, that is a trade I've taken at the end of the week. I'm going to get to the trades which I've taken at the start of the week. But since I'm on this page currently, I'm going to show you this one. Now, as you can see, I've taken this trade, a perfect entry condition for me, nicely pushed down, pull back, and it forms a bearish engulfer. Now, I've taken two trades. Of course, you know how to do risk management. I split my risk. If I'm taking 2% of risk, I'd keep 1 and 1% of risk each. Once my take profit, one is hit, I move my stop loss to break evens, both of them, and then I let my second trade run. It can either hit my take profit or push back up, cut me out at break even, and in this type of scenario, I'll still be making money with one trade. So that is how I do my risk management. So I've taken this trade and both hit my stop loss. But again, the risk is always same. If that's a 2% risk, then it is 1% each, and that hit my stop loss. If I'm taking 1% risk, I'll be taking 0.5% each, and in that case still it be hitting my 1% of stop loss. So that is a losing trade here. But what happens after that? Market pushes up and then we are above 50 EMA, forms a perfect swing low engulfing candle, a perfect entry for me, a losing and a heartbreaker trade. It hit my stop loss and quickly pushed back up. Again, my stop loss has been hit, but I have a second chance entry. If you are a student in the course, then you know what a second chance entry is. I have re-entered this trade and I'll see how that goes. So a losing trade here. Now, if you're someone who was struggling, you say, I take a sell trade, it hit my stop loss. I took a buy trade, it hit my stop loss. And not only that, I want to show you the other ones, which is GBP/NZD. A nice push down follows a swing low bullish engulfing pattern. And again, that hit my stop loss. This was the trade happened on Tuesday. At the start of the week, that hit a stop loss. Not only that, I want to show you one more. Right here. Now, this is the trade luckily I have not taken, but it was a valid bearish engulfing entry. But a trade I have not entered. But I want to show you that could be a stop loss as well. 4 losing trades. Out of that, 3 for me and 4 losing trades in a row that would have been. Now, last week I also have a few losing trades. But let me tell you something. Why are you losing the trades? Because you are picking up the random trades. Now, imagine if I've just taken these 4 trades throughout the week and next week I take similar losing trades and I'm only picking random trades. I'll be just losing money again and again. But instead, I was not scared of these losing streak. I was looking at the markets, the other markets condition, the valid trades which was happening in the market. And that is how you can either come out at the break even at the end of the week or come out at the minimum profit. If not losses, at least you are coming out break even on minimum losses. Now, imagine that's a 4 losing trades for me. Then I looked for another opportunities, which is NZDCAD. That is a take profit hit on my IC markets platform, but on one of the targets was a bit different. So my first take profit has been hit and second trade is still running, but I'm still picking up in the market. Now, this trade happened right here on Thursday. I've entered right here bit below and not just random. Now, these are the trade opportunities I am trying to tell you over my live sessions. I do live session with my members every Monday, and then I send few trade alerts as well, 1 to 3 times a week. Out of that, this week 1 trade alert was sent, which was right here, NZD/USD. That hit a stop loss as well. So another losing trade that happened right here on Wednesday. So for me, that was another entry I've taken. So out of 5 losing trade, I've taken 4 of them. So adding that, coming back to this trade. Now, after losing 4 trades, I've managed to enter this trade. Now this pushed back up. Now imagine if I have not taken this trade. That would be bad. Now why I've taken this trade? Because I've prepared to enter this trade. Now this is not just one entry. We had one more entry which was right here, exactly here. Now, a breakout on 1 hour was an early entry which I have not taken, but that would be an entry and that would have been more profits if you would have entered at the breakout. But that is something I've already mentioned to my students and to the members in the live session. So I'm not just saying that. I want to show you the clip where I mentioned about this trade. I don't show you the clip from the losses because I know everyone would believe if I've taken the losses, but no one believe me if I've taken some profits and if I've mentioned about these trades. That's why I show you the previous videos. So let's see how I've mentored my students about this entry and how I've entered this trade, not randomly but with condition. Next up, we have used NZDCAD, just hit the major structure resistance. We are getting a double bottom, and so we have a double bottom, and we are also getting descending triangle pattern here on 1 hour. But that's just a few touches. Few more touches, breakout above solid on 1 hour will be an entry as well. That's an entry on intraday time frame, which is 4-hour time frame, or just look for simple entry which we might be getting soon. And now we are in a level of major support. If we have a solid engulfer, oversold nicely, a solid engulfing pattern, next candle, not this one, but the next candle must be an engulfing candle. We have a double bottom in that case. And I'll be going long using ATR below this wick and 1-to-1 targets initially. So we are now in a buying area, just looking for the signals to go long. So I'll keep around this pair this week. Awesome. So you've seen that. I've mentioned both entries, one with a breakout, that happens, one with a double bottom, right here, overbought in the RSI. Lots of confidence here for this entry and how nicely that play out. So that's just a start, right, after the losing trades. Let's move ahead to a commodity, which is palladium. Now, with these commodities, which I don't normally cover in my videos, I'm going to mention a few tips here so that you know what to expect. That is why if you're watching the first part, it's going to be important for you. Now, coming here on palladium. Now, like I say, not placing your take profit is as risky as not placing your stop loss, right? So this was an entry mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I would say a couple of days ago. Head and shoulder pattern was completed here along with that with silver, which I've already mentioned to you in my videos, which I cover in my videos, but this is something I don't cover in my videos. A members only video where I mentioned this entry, right, exactly here to keep an eye on an entry, but we have an entry exactly after the completion of head and shoulder bullish pattern, the way I teach my students. So we entered here, and as you can see, that is 1.4 to 1 reward to risk ratio. Right after this trade, I was still in, but that was a painful trade because the market pushes up and then quickly fallen back down. My stop loss was aligned exactly below the head of this pattern, and that is what saved me and given the price room to move around before it can likely to push up. And that is why we have a liquidity here to keep the stop loss protected in case of a slippage or in case of a stop loss hunting. We know that we have a liquidity and protection of the buyers here. So stop loss is exactly aligned the way I teach my students. And as you can see how nicely the price pushed up. Now, not just saying that, I want to show you when I've taken this trade, and I also want to show you when I was in a loss, and I've said my students and members that I'm still in this trade, and this trade is still ongoing. So let's see both clips from members only video. If you have a YouTube member, just a YouTube member is just $5 or £5 a month. You get these type of videos for commodities and some other markets. So let's see the clip for members only video and a live session, and then we can connect the dots from there. Palladium had just hit my termination zone and forming a head and shoulder bullish pattern. So if that turns out to be bullish engulfing pattern, in that case we have a valid right shoulder with valid entry condition. If that happens, I'll be going long, entering bit lower, keeping a stop loss below, take profit. I'll go 1-to-1 initially. That is something I'll be looking at on Palladium. Let's see how that goes. Keep an eye on the close. Close will be a signal, and make sure you trade with a stop loss as well. Palladium is still pushing higher. As you remember, we had a head and shoulder bullish pattern right here. The price pushed up a bit, and then we are pushing up, and we are still struggling to break above 50 EMA completely, but we are still bullish for Palladium. Not to forget, we are still looking for double bottom in case the price pushed down here. So remember, this trade is still ongoing, and I'm still expecting a price to push higher. Awesome. So you have seen how nicely the price pushed up. Now, a tip for you. We might get a double bottom here. Now, a double bottom with engulfer can likely to push the price high. In that case, I'll keep my stop loss below the zone and take profit. I'll go 1-to-1 initially, and then manage my trades to 1.4 to 1 reward to risk ratio. So a winning trade, right? A start of the winning trade that was ongoing from last couple of weeks. That was on 5th of November, 10 days ago, and then ongoing, and then finally hit the profits on when? 2 days ago. Right, a perfect trade we had. Now, same goes with Palladium. Palladium entry is right here. A double bottom. That was mentioned clearly. A double bottom pattern with an aggressive green candle. So you've seen one more winning trade exactly at a double bottom completion. And we had a breakout above. That could be an entry as well, but that didn't play out. But looking at the new high, we can see a possible push back up soon. So that is something we have got one more trade. Now, next up, we have a badass trade in silver. Now, that is an entry I've shown already to you in my video. If you have not seen the last video, I've clearly mentioned about this entry. What a move we have got here. Now, for this one, I've kept only 1.2 to 1. I don't like to trade silver much, but why have entered this trade? A previous high where I knew that we're likely going to get a sellers to step in and push the market lower. And not only random trade, we had this evening star plus a bearish aggressive entry, the entry I teach my students. With that, we have an overbought in the RSI. Lots of conferences adding up. With that, we had a double top pattern as well. If you go back and look here on a daily time frame, there's the first top and second top was rejecting here as well, adding lots of confidence. So that was one more winning trade. Happened when? Happened exactly on 13th of November, this entry happened, and exactly here on 14th of November, the take profit was hit. So everything is happening last week, remember, where we had 4 losing trades, and then these are the trades adding up. Now that is something not sent as an alert, but mentioned in my videos, mentioned in the live session, mentioned in the members only video. If you are looking all of them, then you know how you can manage your risk. If you're just looking and waiting for a trade alert which is sent 1 to 3 times a week, then you might be picking up the random losing trade. So I want you guys to learn and look for the conditions and then take your trades accordingly. In my Discord group, students are looking at these entries. If you are my course member, then you are in my Discord group and we discuss entries there. If that's valid, you take it, but you need to know when it's a valid condition. Exact same entry could be invalid if something is not adding up here. So you know, my students know what I'm talking about. So that is an entry happened exactly, nicely played out. Then we have what? USDCHF. Now this trade was mentioned to my members in the live session. What do we have? Now this is a trade I've managed, and this was managed till this recent support right here. Now imagine that is a big amount of profit and small amount of stop loss, right? I keep on managing this trade and keep moving my stop loss to break even, and as you can see, what a waterfall of the red candles we have right here, exactly till here. So these type of trades, if you're managing your risk, managing your trade, not just coming out of the trade quickly as it hits you to take profits, you need to manage your trades, moving your stop loss to break even. Now, if my stop loss was to be a break even here, the price never pushed back to hit my stop loss area. It keep on pushing down. What is stopping you to trade risk-free? Right, that is a risk-free trade. What worse could have happened? The worst could have been happened that the price would have cut me out at break even. I'm not getting panicked when the price pushed down and gave us a small pullback. I was trying to extract as much as profits as possible from these markets. So that was one more trade given me nice amount of profits. Entered when? Entered right here, 5th of November, and exit when? Exactly at this candle, that is 13th of November, just 2 days ago when I'm recording this video. Now I quickly want to add this as well. This was also sent to the members, NZDCAD, as you can see the trade I've just shown you. This report was sent that we'll be looking to enter the buy trade. So it was not random, it was just with conditions as well. So all the way from the support that was clearly mentioned, we had an entry condition. So there is no ifs, no buts. And that is how I send these reports to the members to look for an entry condition once the price come to your zone. So I send these reports for commodities, for forex, for indices, both. Now I want to add a commodity here which I don't trade personally, but due to members' request and I've added this one. Now as you can see right here, we had a price pushing down to the support, and I've sent this report to the members on 9th of November. Now at this point the price was hitting the zone. As you can see right here, at that time the price was already inside the zone. I've said that we'll be looking to enter my buy trades. Now that is not random, and the price was already here. I've clearly mentioned that in my live session that we are looking to now enter this trade. So I want to show you the clip so that we can connect the dots from there and also from this report. That was sent to you in the report. That's a double bottom here, looks like this, and 1-to-1 target looks like this, and 1.4 to 1 will be your second targets. So we'll see how it goes. Perfect. So not just in the live session, before the live session, if you have not attended my live session, I highly recommend you to attend my live session, members, because I see that not many of you are looking at that. Because in live session, I give you lots of conditions, conferences, and you ask me questions, and that is how you learn. You just rely on the signals, then trust me, it is not possible to make money. So with that, I've clearly confirmed this entry and how nicely the price pushed up. Again, I've not taken this trade, but that would have easily hit your 1.4 to 1 reward to risk ratio target. So excluding this trade, you have seen the trades I've taken, the other ones, the commodities ones, and all the others one, the trades I've taken, the trades I've managed has put me back in the profits. And those were not a random trades. If I just have taken the 4 random trades and next week I've taken again random trades and again I've been doing same thing, then I would never able to make money. If you want to trade, you need to be disciplined, sit in front of your laptops, your screens, your phones, wherever you want to trade, and make sure you're looking at the every other markets, and make sure you have a back-tested strategy. You know, you're not taking a trade on a bad pairs. Forgot to mention one more trade, which is not my favorite pair, right here. Now that's an entry I've taken, and we have set this entry live in the live session. I want to show you the clip from the live session so we can connect the dots from there. NZDCHF, a pullback entry bearish has found. I want to see that on my platform as well, if we have that here. So we'll see how that goes. Second and third entry, we have found a nice one. So this pair is not one of my favorite pair, but from the last couple of months, I've seen this pair is performing really well. If you look here, above 50 EMA, nice and golfer, nicely played out. And before that, if you look here, I've been taking one losing trade, winner, 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 winner. So I've seen the history of this pair. If not ranging, that pair is perfectly running. But a very slow pair, and I've taken this trade with a very low risk because, like I said, I don't like the pair. And as you can see, this is also set live. So overall, that was a market nice downtrend. And downtrend, we had a nice pullback, rejects here. And nice pin buy happened afterwards. So that gave me some confidence to stay in the trade and manage my risk to the previous lows. And that nicely hit the profit. So this trade happened when? The trade happened on Monday. And the take profit hit when? Take profit hit on Tuesday. So that was also one more trade adding up in the profits. And not to forget, one more trade, CADCHF. Right, I've been sending this report every other week to the members. And finally, the price came to the zone and hitting a nice take profit. Right here, 1.4 to 1 was a reward to risk ratio. Waterfall of this candle, but I've already exited this trade here because, again, that is a very slow pair and very low volume pair, and that nicely hit down. If you would have managed this trade to the next support, that would be exactly till here. So that is how you minimize your losses, by taking some good trades. And if you have been taking the good trades, then it is not impossible to make money in the markets. Now I want to show you a badass trade we had here on CAC 40 index. Now, like I said, I sent indices reports as well. Now, I want to keep this side by side, keep looking ahead on 26th of October, and then we have a 9th of November, which is right here. Now, what a badass trade we had here. Now, on 26th of October, the price was already here, and we were looking to sell this market. As you can see right here, I'll be looking to sell this market with my entry conditions, and we had a double top pattern exactly right here. Then we had what? We had 9th of November, where the price hit my support that was already mentioned exactly here before in this report. But next week, when the price moved down, I mentioned this in the report. Now, we have said that price nicely pushed lower from the zone I've sent last week. Now, price is heading towards a major zone from where I'll be looking to buy this market. And as you can see, how nicely it pushed down and bounce exactly from here. And we had a bearish engulfer here, and then it nicely pushed down again. Now, this is something I teach in my course with the exact rules. If you trade stock markets, if you trade indices, all of them, then this is something you're going to learn. This is something you're going to get. You might become a better trader than me. You might become an expert, but you might come up with a better strategy. All you need is a hard work, full dedication, full motivation, without losing your motivation. If you are not doing all of that, just taking random trades, then you won't be able to make money. If you want to become a doctor, you do years of training, years of experience, then you become a surgeon, and then you do surgeries. You don't just go straight to the surgery after completing your degree, right? So that is something you need to go through the full process. You need to know how and where to mark these zones, and that is something exactly I teach in my course. Now lastly, we have Bitcoin. What a move we have got here on Bitcoin. First I've sent the zones in my Telegram channel, and then I've sent the zone in my Telegram channel. Both played out double bottom here and double top here. That is the power of marking the right zone. Now this other question asked me in the live session that what to expect from here. Now as you can see, exactly how I mentioned, if there is a double top, I'll be going short. No ifs, no buts, clear condition. Let's see the clip from the live session, then we can connect the dots from there. It just hit the major structure, a previous level that was been tested. We had a nice pullback. Now this was sent in the in my Telegram channel as well. That nicely played out with a double bottom already. Back in the zone, no conditions. On 1 hour, we have a double top. We might get a nice fall out of Bitcoin soon. But for you, if you want to enter, you can have a termination zone like this. If we have one more push up with bearish engulfer, we are going short. So buy will only happen if we are broken above these highs. In that case, we will turn bullish. So for now, look for bearish trades. I'm expecting a push down out of Bitcoin. Nice one. What a move we have got here. A nice waterfall landed exactly at the major support, and from where I'm expecting a bit push up to 20 or 50 EMA and then a possible push down. So expect a push up from here. Look at the support right here, and that's a quick tip for you here on Bitcoin as well. Then again, guys, talking about that, I'm running this offer, a biggest sale of the year that just happened once in the year. The 40% is never off throughout whole year. And if you are liking my strategies, if you really want to learn the trading system, and you will get a 40% off in this price. So after 40% off, you're going to get a good discount here once you enter this code at the checkout, and you get these two plans totally free, and you don't even need to pay monthly. And you get my full mentorship, Discord group, and my trading bot as well. So lots of value here. And if you're interested to learn the system, then that is something you need to get now. Offer is going to end in November, so make sure you get this without a delay and without losing more money. So that is something I've shown you with the clear transparency, that is how I lose money as well, and that is how make money back. And if you know the rules and system, then you know what to expect. Now this week I'm looking here on AUS200 index. A nice bullish engulfer happened here that was sent in this week's report, which is right here, 9th of November. Just to give you a tip here for AUS200 index, now price is inside the zone, and I'm expecting a bounce at least 121 and 1.2 to 4:1 reward to risk ratio, a target I'm expecting from here, and we'll see how that goes. A quick tip here, guys: take your trades on your own risk and shouldn't be taken as any sort of trading advice. So a quick analysis on AUS200 index as well for you guys, if you have made it to this far in this video. So let's end the first part, and I hope you got a value. If yes, make sure you hit the like button for me before you move ahead if you're liking my videos. So let's move on with analysis of nat gas, gold, silver, crude oil, starting with natural gas. Now first, I want to show you the clip from the last video so that we can connect the dots from there. And here on Owanda first, we have got this nice bullish engulfing pattern. So that is one of my buy signal, but due to very shallow pullback, that's going to be very risky entry. If I would have to enter this trade, I would keep my stop loss below 20 EMA and take profit. I would go 1-to-1 initially. Nice one. So I've mentioned that is my valid buy entry, but I have not taken that. Now, if I have not taken an entry, I say I have not taken it, of course, but exactly where I've marked my box and exactly where we had a bullish engulfing candle, exactly here as well, shows a nice buying pressure. Now, some of my students have taken this entry. Again, that was a risky entry for me, but I was already in the other trades. I've just shown you my trades, and I couldn't take another trade because it was going against my risk management to enter this trade, because for nat gas, I have to take bit higher risk because it doesn't allow me to trade with a smaller lots in my broker's platform. So right here, for nat gas, I've not taken this, but exactly I've mentioned a valid entry, no ifs, no buts, clear condition, still pushed up, nicely played out, and that is what you learn in the course. Now, this entry is valid, but sometimes the entry looks like this, but it is not valid. Again, that is why I teach every single detail in my course. I've just mentioned I'm running a big offer. Make sure to grab that here. If you have skipped that, you'll be getting 40% off in this plan. With that, you get these two plans for free, and my AI trading bot as well, that already triggered a signal on a weekly time frame. Entry was here, take profit was here. So that was already triggered right here. So that is something on 3rd of November and hitting the targets here on the 10th of November in 1 week. So that's about you're going to get, and that's signal happened on weekly time frame. Again, I've not used that for an entry, but that is something you get an extra confidence. So right here, that nicely pushed up. Now what to expect? Now this pullback was clearly expected, and as you can see, the net gas is forming a nice breakout patterns, and we had one more breakout which I've already mentioned to you exactly here on this platform, that nicely broken out, hitting nice targets as well. ADR is 83, and that breakout on early candle on 1 hour, if you look here, just adjusting your levels, and that early breakout happens here, and that nicely pushed up 82 pips. Again, you can make your strategies by using different methods. So a nice breakout happened here. Now let me show you something here. I'm going to go through all the other platforms like Capital.com and Oanda and MCX shortly, but right here we are getting a possible pullback. Now this pullback is right here, and that could be a little flag pattern has been formed here. Looking at that, we can see a possible breakout. Now if you look on 1 hour, again for the early breakout, 1 hour time frame, if you look here, that has been broken out already. If you adjust it bit below, that has been broken out, and we are getting a retest here as well. So we have one touch here and second here. Now 1 hour flag pattern can be weaker, but it is looking at the nice trending market that can play out. So we have getting a retest, and we can see a possible push back up. So that is something I'm expecting. We have got a solid pullback. If you don't trade these pattern, the less aggressive entry is always let the price give us some more pullback and let the price forms an engulfing pattern to go long. Now the price is also testing the previous anchor and exactly rejected from this area. So we have lots of buying pressure here, and we might get another push higher. So keep an eye. I'm still expecting and bullish for natural gas, and let me see if this candle is a 382 bullish candle or not. So that looks like a 382 bullish candle exactly right here above my 382 fib level, and that is also a bullish pressure happened here. Now this is one of the entry I also teach my students. Now according to that, I keep my stop loss below the wick and take profit. I go 1 to 1 initially, and we'll see how that goes. So that's a valid entry. Again, for net gas, I've not tested that a lot. Still something I teach to my students, and in the past that has played out. If you look here, this entry, a 382 candle, or you can call it a doji, but that's a valid 382 candle with the fib tool. You can check that, and that nicely played out. And right here we are getting one more candle. So keep an eye looking at that. I'm expecting a push up, a flag pattern. With that, we are getting this 382 bullish candle. Again, less aggressive entries, one more pullback to 50 EMA. If there's a solid pullback over 50 EMA, I'll be going long. A nice trending market, nicely rejecting from 20 EMA. And if 20 EMA, let's say, fails, we have a 50 EMA support that can still push the price higher to the next level of resistance. Exactly here, I'll be sending that to my members and a report as well by adjusting some level. But for now, right here on Oana, that's a number 4.634 goes to 4.868. And if you look here on Capital.com, that's a level above. That's a big and wide level, which I might be reducing when I send the report. 4.887 goes to 5.304. And on NEMEX, if you look here, that's a level. Right here, 4.812 goes to 5.292. And I still need to mark that on MCX members. I'll be sending that to you. But for now, we are still inside the support, and that might push the price higher. So that's the condition I'm looking here. We are rejecting from 50 EMA on Capital.com and on NEMEX as well. And looking at that, we have a breakout here as well that was mentioned in my last video. And we are right at the previous structure. Gap has been filled here. And looking at that, I'm expecting a price to push up. No entry condition for me, like a pullback entry here on NEMEX. But if there is one more pullback, price goes down. One candle close back down, and then second candle close as a bullish engulfer. That will be my entry condition to go long again. But overall, the trend is bullish, and I'm expecting a push higher to the next level of resistance, from where I'm expecting a nice push down. That's a very strong level of significance in a weekly level. Mark the zones on Capital.com as well. As you can see, the price is right here, and now I'm expecting a push up. Same condition, expecting a nice push up and a nice uptrend, as you can see right here and right here. We might get another retest and then a push back up. So keep an eye here on net gas on Capital.com as well as support. And looking at the nice trending market, we have got a 50 EMA test, and looking at that, I'm expecting a push up, looking at some nice buying pressure. On daily, we have this pin bar, and looking at that, I'm expecting a push up. So keep an eye here, guys, and take your trades on your own risk and look for the condition I've just mentioned. Overall, nice trending market, and we'll see how that goes. If we open above in gap, keep an eye on the next level of resistance. Next up, we have gold. Gold has broken down below. Now, that is why I look at silver. For silver, we were prepared to take the sell trade, right? So let's see the clip from the last video so that we can connect the dots from there. Silver is testing a previous high and forming a bearish engulfing pattern. Now, that is not a very strong level since that's a previous and all-time high. That's the only level we have here on silver. Looking at that, as you can see, previously price formed a nice engulfing pattern and price nicely pushed down. Here, we are getting a bearish engulfing pattern, an evening star pattern, kind of, but a valid pattern, the one I teach to my students in the course, an aggressive entry. So either this candle or a double top with bearish engulfers to go short aggressively. That's my sell signal. Again, a very risky signal since that's not a very strong level. So if that closes a bearish candle on 4-hour time frame, expecting a solid push down. I'll keep my stop loss below, above this pattern, an ATR something, and go 1-to-1 initially, and then manage my trade to 1.2-to-1 or 4-to-1 reward to risk ratios. Perfect. So clear condition, clear push down. I've already shown you that in the first part of the video, and that nicely pushed lower. Now when silver pushes down, the gold follow through, and gold has also pushed down without giving us any sort of condition on this anchor support. Now, sometimes silver follows gold and sometimes gold follows silver, whichever is faster. And for that, I look at the gold and silver ratio. Normally, the gold and silver ratio give us an early signal, and silver mainly follow the gold and silver ratio. Now here we had a nice pullback upside, and if you look here on silver, we had a nice pullback to the downside, and same we have a nice pullback on gold towards the downside. So that goes in worse than I've already uploaded a strategy free for you on my YouTube in my playlist. Feel free to watch that and look at the card up there. Click on that and watch and learn this strategy. Now looking here, we are getting a retest of 50 EMA. Now exactly if the price forms a bearish engulfer on the ratio, gold and silver ratio, means we're going to see a possible push down to the recent lows. If we have a push down here, you will start to see a push up here in silver, and silver might form a double top to go short, and in that process gold might follow through and pushes back up and start to push up to the next level of support. So that is something I look here for my analysis, but for that I'll keep you guys informed if you're confused. But that is a quick overview. Keep an eye on the ratio as well. But looking at silver, we can see if we have some more momentum below 50 EMA, in that case we can see a likely fall to the next level of support, which is quite far right here. If this candle start to push up and close above 50 EMA, then we can see a possible push up and price might form a double top. That is all I'm looking at on silver. And in that process, we look here on gold. If gold breaks above 50 and 20 EMA and this high as well, I'll be looking for my pullback entry bullish. But once we have broken above this zone, I'll still look for my pullback entry bullish to go long. If gold push down further, then we are looking at this level of minor support, which is right here, these numbers in blue. So I want to see some more momentum for the price to push down and take my bearish trades, or break above 50 EMA for me to enter my buy trade. So that is something we'll decide when the market opens, and I'll keep you guys informed. So that's a quick overview on gold and silver with a ratio platform. Finally, we have crude oil. Crude oil is funny and pushing up and down. That is why I don't like crude oil unless and until it forms a pattern. Crude oil runs very nicely with the head and shoulder patterns, double bottom patterns, and all these patterns. I love trading crude oil, but I don't like to trade crude oil with pullback entries. Now price broken back above 50 and 20 EMA, forming a rejection here. Now at this point, if you know my rule, I don't take my trades, sell trades above 50 EMA. So for that, I'll be waiting for the price to either come up here, forms a double top, have the zones ready on your charts, a double top zone, and the red zone, which is right here. Wherever the price hit first and forms a bearish condition, we are going short. Otherwise, I'm not looking to buy crude oil at this point till we get to this level, or if the price pushes down, I'll be looking to buy from this green zone right here, these numbers. So that is all I'll be looking here for crude oil. So that's it for today's video. That was a long video. If you have made it to the end, then you are a legend. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care and have an awesome weekend.